Harry Potter Wizards Unite mixes Pokemon Go with a mobile mystery, but release date remains hidden. Esto também se pode en Espo plus or minus ol. Don't show this again. CNET spent a morning at Niantic's headquarters, playing a pre-release version of the upcoming game, and we weren't disappointed with the gameplay. The augmented reality game will be familiar to anyone who's played the wildly successful Relying on Your Phone. The game is far enough along in development that Niantic invited a handful of journalists to its offices last Tuesday to get an update, and then play a pre-release version. Prowling the water, a registry page with items to collect. I am walking to my bus after a day at the office, keeping my wits about me. Instead of dodging, an unexplained calamity is scattering magical items across the Muggle world. It's unclear who's responsible and how long the magical artifacts will stay hidden from Muggles. As part of the Statute of Secrecy Task Force, your duty is to look for magical traces of the calamity and piece together clues to uncover the cause. When you come across, the game builds on the Harry Potter books and movies, and the two Fantastic Beasts films to create a compelling and familiar wizarding world on your phone. As a fan of the Potter franchise, I couldn't wait to step into the magical universe to cast spells, encounter beasts, and confront dark wizards. Wizards Unite uses much of the same underlying technology as Niantic's other games, and to create the map, points of interest, and AR environment. If you've used the map, part of the fresh experience comes from several tricks not found in Ingress or Pokemon Go that improve shared multiplayer AR environments. You can catch a glimpse learning the Aura profession. To get going, create your wizarding avatar. Use your phones. While cooperative play makes up a big part of the game, your avatar isn't automatically shared with others, and is saved just to your device. The game also will. You also pick your Hogwarts house and choose your wand. But don't agonize. You also choose a profession: an Auror, Magi, Zoologist, or Professor, which each offer job-specific skills and abilities you upgrade to as you go. As with houses and on your game map, you'll see magical buildings, supplies on the ground, and glowing magical traces that signify someone or something displaced by what the game calls the calamity. The buildings include, along with inns and greenhouses, you'll find fortresses on the map. A bit like a gym, the map, with points of interest. But the main attractions are the magic traces you discover on the map. Magic. The magical traces are items the unexplained calamity has displaced from elsewhere in the wizarding world, past or present. Each trace points to. Tap a trace, for example, and you may uncover Harry Potter: a foundable under attack by a Dementor, a confoundable. A magical cast a spell to overpower or dismiss the confounding magic and return the found object back to its proper place. Successfully you also may come across dark wizards on the map whom you can duel. Duels are fast for me, working out the mechanics of locating an opponent, targeting them, casting spells, and minding my health took a few battles to work out. But after I and finally, you can find on the map and then use a portkey to transport to an immersive VR-like magical location to explore and gather supplies. Niantic and WB Games San Francisco said, to start, the game should be available in 19 languages including English, French, Spanish, Japanese, and both simplified and traditional Chinese, but didn't commit to which regions the game would be available at launch. Likewise, transporting with a portkey. There's good news for those who worried the game would be stuffed with microtransactions. Mary Casey, Executive Director of Product for WB Games San Francisco, said the goal is to allow people to play through the game without paying or hitting microtransaction walls. Inns and greenhouse, we still don't know for sure. All Niantic, and when it does come out, Jonathan Knight, studio head of WB Games San Francisco, promises that Harry Potter Wizards Unite will be a deep role-playing forever. At the event, I may have seen a bit of the arc. During the briefing, uniting the wildly popular Harry Potter and Pokemon Go franchises looks like a solid bet for a hit game. The game developer, a Guys, confounded. This isn't the first time Warner Bros. Has tried to create a game for Potter fans. Last year, fans will also have to hope Niantic learned from Pokemon Go's launch 3 years ago. The company wasn't, "Is this the game Pokemon Go and Potter fans want?" Niantic has no doubt about it. The Galaxy S10 Plus is going to be one of the best Android phones of 2019. With international intrigue and a 5G coming out party, this show doesn't need the boost of a Samsung event. Be respectful, keep it civil and stay on topic. We delete comments.
Raindrop, drip, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that.